podcast is brought to you by Substack. Go to substack.tristanjmiller.com for early access to this podcast as well as film reviews from me, Tristan Miller.
And now, our feature presentation.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Focus Testing, a podcast about movies where we also make a movie. My name is Tristan Miller, and joining me today is the very funny Camille Roberts. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. Excited to be here.
Be here in the virtual space as opposed to the meat space.
Yeah.
So I generally start each episode the same way, which is to ask the person to marry me. No, which is to say, do you remember, what film do you remember seeing first in the cinema?
Okay, I'm going to say no to the first question. And
Fine.
Okay, I'm sure I saw a film before this, but I remember going to the Pokemon Mewtwo movie where you would show up and they gave you the like holographic Mewtwo card.
Were you a fan of the Pokemon growing up?
I was a fan because like my brothers were big fans and I wanted to see in on the situation. I guess this didn't answer your question. I would say like a medium fan. I like the TV show more than like the cards. I thought the world building was quite good.
You enjoyed the fantasy land that you got drifted off to, but you didn't want to learn strategy.
I want to know card. The card game was so silly, what I recall, because there were some cards that were so objectively better than other cards. So you have like a Charizard up against the little worm.
The little worm guy, yeah. For sure. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I could never get into the cards either, and I didn't have any of the video games growing up. I just watched the TV show, which was quite enjoyable.
It was really good because you had like an element of friendship. It was like a very early like sitcom feel almost. Like you had a lot of banter. You got Team Rocket coming in like a week during. Anyways, it was pretty good. The movie I felt like took a real new artistic direction from the series. I don't know if you saw it. So I feel like it didn't really, it got really emotional. There's the part where like Ash turns to stone.
Yeah.
You see it? And then
Pikachu.
Oh, okay, Okay, I just didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, where Pikachu slaps the crap out of another Pikachu, and it's very upsetting.
I forgot about that. I know.
It's so sad.
Like, it's so cute, and then makes us like wounded. It was a pretty violent film being brought back.
Yeah, and then Ash dies, and then their tears bring him back to life.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
The first movie that I saw with that plot line, but there are several movies that also have the crying. Like there's a ton of them, and I felt like they all had ripped off Pokemon. I thought that was really ridiculous.
You're not wrong. I'll say this. I'll give you that one. Specifically, Tangled did come out after, so
much later, 20 years later, and they're still. And Frozen ended that way too.
I can't recall Frozen. I'm sorry, but probably that sounds correct.
Yeah.
And is it
this in a real animated film direction? Sorry.
I was just gonna ask, isn't Mewtwo also like, why am I here? Why am I alive? What is the meaning of life? The whole time?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that whole layer. Yeah, and then Mew's still there, and it has like an element of like human augmentation or animal augmentation. It's has some really deep themes. There's a real departure from like the silly Pokemon master. It tried to like grow up with its audience, but just took too big of a leap, I think, for the 6-year-old.
I think so. That very well could be. I guess I got turned on to the movie when I was like in my teens, so I think I was an appropriate age to go, yeah, what is this all about?
Are
Maybe
how old are you? I felt like you must be younger than me, but now
really
were
interesting.
you
A lady never
16?
tells.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I wasn't 16 when it came out. No, I wasn't allowed to watch it growing up.
Ah, you later
Hmm.
watched the Pokemon. Okay.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
a lot of it had to do with like I asked my mom later on, I was like, were you worried? Because I grew up in a conservative household. I was like, were you worried about like the devil or something? And she goes, no, 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 no. You were already into Star Wars and we were spending so much money on that that we couldn't afford for you to get into Pokemon. It was
That's fair.
purely purely we looked at our budget and it's like we only have one thing for you to be like obsessed about.
Yes. Okay. So you were like a real fan, but like you were that type of fan of these
Hmm.
franchises. Okay. It's
For
probably
sure.
for the best then.
I very much agree.
Yeah.
Um, so I have a couple of questions for you as well that are like kind of movie trivia, kind of get to know you questions as well. I'm
Okay.
gonna, yeah, I'm gonna start with this one. What animal would you want to ratatouille you into success?
Does it have to be realistic? Like I would need to hide this animal on my person, or will any animal fit under my hat
I,
in whatever
I,
profession?
I think whatever animal will fit under your hat. It's like can God make a rock so big even they can't lift it? That's kind of that situation. It's infinite, the amount of size. The hat is infinite sized.
Oh, the hat is 18 5. Doesn't need to be a chef hat. I don't need to be in a field where
No, no,
I would
no.
be wearing. Okay, okay, okay. Do not give a lot of parameters to this question. I
I
think
like to
okay.
have it open ended and see what you come up with.
I like to be creative in a box, but okay. Let's see. For some reason, uh, tiger is coming to my mind.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like you sensed that, but I am not sure because I didn't have a defined dream that I was working backwards from. I just like the idea of like the large feline zen situation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think I need that. There's a lot of anxiety. I think it would counter the anxiety.
Okay. Okay. I like that. A tiger is very, yeah, calming presence when they want to be.
Yeah,
Very grounded animal.
yeah,
Very sleepy. Um,
yeah. Sleepy, but I don't know. I don't know why I said tiger. I feel like tigers. Oh, I think it's because I really like Tigger. I don't know.
mm,
But tigers, as I learn as I get older, really nothing like Tigger. Okay, I'm gonna stick with tiger, but I do
mm-hmm.
have regrets about it. Um, but I'm ready for the next question.
All right. All right.
Okay,
Um, what
going on.
movie has the best soundtrack?
Inception.
Really? Go
Yeah,
on.
I'm just scared the whole time for
Okay.
no reason, and it doesn't end up being that intellectually complicated of a plot, but the music is implying to me the whole time that like something revolutionary is taking place on screen.
Okay. Yeah, it is an effective piece of music that way. That wah, you're like, what is about to happen?
Right. What like realm am I in? And then they're going back through the dreamscape. I don't know.
Hmm.
Should
Yeah,
I
no.
pick a movie that more people know? I
No,
feel like
I feel like a lot of people know Inception. I think
okay,
I
okay,
think you're in the clear. I think that was a
let's go.
generational defining film.
Okay, okay. Well, you are 10 years older than me apparently, so who
Yeah. Yeah.
knows?
Who can say?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm 10 years. I don't know your age. Now we're gonna spend the rest of the podcast
I'm
kind of
funny.
trying to suss.
We'll figure it out. What if I had also just said you two again, but that was my favorite? I could go back and listen to it because I did cry a lot during that film. So there must have been something with the music, and not because it couldn't have just been the Robo Pokemon. That
Yeah,
was
I think it has like a
and
nice orchestra string sort of thing going for it.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
which actor would you want to steal a car from?
I feel like all the first people that are coming to my mind are not the people like I just thought Ryan Reynolds for
Okay.
some reason, but I think I just think he's cute. Okay, I'd probably say Andrew Garfield. I feel like
Yeah.
he doesn't really need one. You know, he has other methods of transportation around the city, and
Yeah. He'd be
I
like,
feel
yeah,
like
no,
he would
no,
have
just
a
take
really,
it. Just take it. It's fine. Don't worry. Just, yeah, no, I'll walk.
yeah. I feel like he'd have a really modest vehicle, like like a Corolla or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. This is my Honda Accord. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
All right. Oh, your impression is good. Oh my god, you kind of look like.
Yeah. We
Okay.
have
What
that
kind
in
of car do
common.
you
I have no car.
have? Oh,
Not
okay.
yet.
Never mind. The comparison ends there. You don't have the
Yeah,
Corolla.
I can't have the I can't have a car in the city. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I I've lived here for 10 years. I can't have a car.
that's true.
So true.
I have my
Um
mom's car here, and I have to move it and work today. So it's really not big anytime
oh, I suppose, yeah, that must be a hassle, specifically where you live in the city, which is undisclosed because I don't want to let people stalk you.
Yeah, because
So,
my interview is going so well. Such interesting intellectual thoughts about Pokemon. So I'm sure people would be beating down my
I mean,
door.
I'm finding quite endearing, so maybe others will also.
That's
Mhm. What film monster would you want to have sex with? Now,
Oh my god. Whoa. Okay.
want to, not have to. If you had to pick, want to actively.
But I do have to pick. But it's but I don't have to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like, oh, you're in a situation and you have to pick a monster and it's like, oh, I have to just put up with this. Like, what do you feel in your heart when you see a monster on screen? You're like, no, I would.
Okay. And I feel like I should leave out all of the monster characters from they're all just very monster I wanna say Gothel from Tangled. Is
Okay.
that the mom
Yeah,
figure?
yeah. Would you call her a
Yeah.
monster? Or is she just some lady? She's a
No, she's a
witch.
monster. She's like, is she even a witch? She's just like, she's she's a modern monster because she's like the ultimate withholding mother, which is like,
Okay.
the monster of a lot of people's lives, not my own.
Mm-hmm. A
Yeah,
momster, if you will.
yeah,
There it is.
yeah.
Uh,
One closest to, yeah. Also, she's pretty, with
oh
the
yeah.
sex. Yeah,
Oh yeah, for sure. She wouldn't have come to my mind first, but yes, absolutely. She can do whatever she wants to me.
yeah, yeah.
On a related note, what was your first
Oh,
what was your
God.
first character crush that you had? Like you went to see a movie and you're like, "Oh, I think I'm in love with this person."
I think I already, I think Ryan Reynolds, I already
Mm-hmm.
disclosed that. I definitely was very in love with Ryan Reynolds' with proposal.
And the proposal specifically.
And specifically. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, not later in life because while I really enjoy it, he does a lot of the same thing. And at first I was like, this really soft spoken, cute, sarcastic situation. But then when Ryan Reynolds said the proposal showed up in like a bunch of action films, I was like, oh, it's not really.
Gotcha. You like his earlier work. You're a Ryan Reynolds snob.
Yeah, Ryan, if you're listening to this, I'm still a fan. I'm not going to steal your car. Yeah.
Please give me some stock in Mint Mobile. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I have two more questions and then we'll get to the game of it all. In the Pixar animated film Cars, they have mouths. Do they eat?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Oh, I think they do. Isn't there a scene where they're like eating both? I unfortunately watched this in the past calendar year.
Can I say I've only seen Cars 2 and I do not think that they addressed it.
Was
Cars
this a
2.
trivia question or was this a question like, is it in, like, could they, hypothetically, obviously?
Okay, I don't know the answer to it, so it's certainly not a trivia question in that sense, but it could be,
Okay.
it's more of a, what do you think? How do you think their society works?
Well, I think that you should have watched the entire franchise. Just
Okay.
you're asking an objective question.
Putting me on
How does
blast.
their society work? Oh, that's interesting because, yeah, like what needs do they have? Obviously, they need gas, so they like, so there is some driving. And then there's the people who fix the roads and stuff. They have the entertainment.
Wow. There's a lot about the Cars franchise that I do not know about.
Yeah, you asked the wrong person this question. How does their society? Yeah, I think the economy is built probably around gas, like much like maybe it's what's that thing called? An allegory? No, a microcosm. Some English word.
Okay, something that of Latin or Greek origin, yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. The final question that I always ask everyone is, why is Austin Powers so sexy? What is it about that man?
The first image that came to my mind was from Goldfinger, where he's eating the skin in the bathroom. That's not when you said sexy. It's like I was like thinking of that and being like, yeah, why is he sexy? The really like boring but truthful answer is just the confidence and the being, something like so back in time in retro and just bringing that unapologetically into, I was going to say the modern era, but I should say the late 90s.
Sure. Okay. The novelty of a man out of time and then the confidence he projects.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can get behind that. For sure. Are you ready for the game and our word? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We have snarl is our word.
Wow. What is this generator that you're using?
It's called randomwordgenerator.com. .commercial. It's not an EDU nor an organization. It's
okay. Do you sometimes does it sometimes give you like the word the? Like is it normally a verb? I'm excited. I'm ready.
Okay. So
we've been talking a lot about, is this animated or live action?
That's up to both of us to decide. So what do you want to do? We could do an animated feature. We've done it before on the program. We can do it again.
Okay. Animated certainly gives us a little bit more flexibility in our world building. But we have to talk pretty exclusively about animated.
Yeah. Where my mind goes with Snarl is also animated, and it is also, I feel like we could have a fun kind of double entendre, as they say in Quebec. of, when you get snarl in your hair when it's long, when it curls up in itself, and then also like snarl like a big cat would make. And I feel like a barber shop that is all lions
Mhm.
would be really fun.
I like that you're bringing back the feline energy. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, I for some reason before you said mind, I was picturing it in a tundra type environment, but it could still take place. No, it's fine. So we're putting it into like the desert that we're lying to.
Wherever you'd like.
Okay, that's true. It is okay. So the lions are the barbers, or the barbers are a different creature, and all the lions have to come and get the snarls out of
I,
there.
I like the idea that it's lions coming to this one barber who knows how to do manes.
Okay, I'm also gonna like question this premise in that I've never heard of a snarl in hair. Is that
Really?
you seem to have hair that could snarl, um, for your description, and I do not. But is that a word?
I,
Like that? Is that a mean?
I'm gonna Google it now. Hair. I mean, it's what my mom used to call it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a real thing. It's a tangle of hairs or a thread from
I,
merriam-webster.com, commercial.edu.
I was about to say, what if your mom is just the person behind this random word generator?
Just cuts her,
Please
she's just
figure it
pushing a
out.
button, just quickly typing it in.
Like, no. Um. Okay, it's a tangle of hair, and then also, I mean, I agree with your other stuff. Okay, so there's one barber they all come to. I feel like it starts out and we don't really think the barber's going to be a main character,
Mm,
but then the barber has, I feel like the barber has some secret. Like they were
mm,
running from a past life where they gained some skill where they were really good at doing the main, but it was from like a different thing. And then they're coming into a new town and trying to like blend in and become
I
accidental.
I like that a lot. Is landscaping too obvious?
That they're only, I feel like they have to be. It's not. It's definitely not too obvious. We're bringing in a little. What's that movie with Johnny Depp?
Yeah,
Scissorhands.
Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, yeah.
Well, you're also doing
Yeah, I was also doing that because I was thinking of Edward Scissorhands, yes.
this.
Specifically.
But no, I feel like um, also, can you physically describe what you think the barber looks like? Not that looks matter, but I'm just trying to get a picture.
I was trying to think of like different animals that would be good. And
Okay.
part of me thinks if we're gonna go with like landscaping, a crab would be really fun.
That would
Or
be
I was thinking maybe a gibbon or some sort of ape because they're constantly, like cleaning each other, and there's, that could
cool.
translate to being good with, at a salon or whatever.
You didn't pick like particularly cute animals for this character, but I
You don't
think
think a crab is cute?
a crab could be interesting because I feel like typically they're cast as more two-dimensional characters. I feel like we could bring in like another layer for them. Like
Hmm.
they're usually supporting roles.
Yeah, they're usually like a Sebastian or a Tamatoa sort of situation.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. I'm on board.
Okay.
Okay. So, but I feel like they didn't come from landscape.
Okay.
Just because I feel like where they need to come from is some other like magical land that they're escaping from, and they're sort of like they're trying to start over.
Do you want to do an undersea kingdom where they're betrothed to someone they don't want to marry?
Yes, I do want that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was definitely necessary to bring that in. Okay.
Hmm.
Is their family, is that under the underwater world? Are they from like a rich family, or like where they're like, oh, kingdoms coming together, or is that just like the system where they marry off their children
Hmm.
for stuff?
Hmm. 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 I imagined it like a kind of a like a Jasmine situation where the crab was a prince or a princess or an heiress of some sort, and they were getting married to like make the kingdom, come together. But we could also just have it be like, I don't like arranged marriages.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you could make it way like smaller stakes if you wanted. Because that also goes to like I want to be independent, I want to start my own business, so on and so on.
yeah. Well, I think it would have a whole class element, and it would be something that I don't feel like is very class, which is like, you know, being sold off into marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm. Um, but yeah, that's definitely a different direction. Okay, if we did, but also, you know what else is interesting about going smaller scale? Also, is this a musical or is this?
Sure, it can be. You tell me right now. You're asking a lot of questions. You tell me if it's a musical.
I think it's like I'm feeling like it's a musical. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I'm feeling
I,
like it's a musical.
I think so
But
too.
I think that the reason the crab, you pick a name,
Um, Jody.
okay, and you pick a gender.
I think it should be a girl crab.
Girl crab. Okay. So what if they sold us the male crab? Okay, girl crab, Jody, she, her.
Mm-hmm.
She, I feel like it could be a really fun reason that she doesn't want to get married.
Like a
Like
really
maybe even like she actually, or maybe it's like more advanced. Maybe she actually is really in love with the person, or not first. She's probably not married in this scenario.
What can I tell you? I like to fuck a crab. Ah.
Yeah, maybe she's like, oh, I just something feels wrong about marrying a person. For this person seems like they need to go to a therapist and not
And
marry.
it's a live action person comped in like Roger Rabbit.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was like so creepy in SpongeBob when they did
Oh yeah,
the
for sure.
crossover.
When David Hasselhoff would just show up fully as a
Yeah.
man, or the hand would come
Yeah.
in, and you're like, mm-mm.
Oh yeah. I did not like that. Okay, so we will have no Alex. I'm taking the person out of it. The crab is just the crab character became so real to me.
Okay.
So Jody is leaving the marriage because she actually is in love with crab school sweetheart, but she feels um yeah, I think it could just be a coming of age, like because like she
Mm,
hasn't really lived her life.
mm-hmm.
Mm. Is that too boring? Does she need to be fleeing from something?
I don't think so. I think, a young gal moving to the big city to pursue a dream, to make sure that she really does love the person and it isn't just comfort. I think that's relatable, and those are like high personal stakes.
That's true. I like that. Like a little bit less is more
Hmm.
situation.
For
Okay.
sure.
So she runs away
She scuttles.
to she goes away. Oh my gosh, that'd be a great like drum line for the running
Oh,
away song.
yeah. For sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to have no like I want this to be really original. I want to have like no element of like Little Mermaid or anything. So
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
I think maybe it's more of a heavy metal theme.
Sweet as, yeah. Yeah, I like it. A rock
Yeah.
opera. Yeah, a heavy metal
Yeah.
rock opera. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Rage Against the Machine. Something, just like that really sets this.
We get Jack Black to write the music.
Yeah. Okay.
There we go.
Does Jack Black play Jody or
I feel like Jack Black should play not our lead character. I think it should be played by a gal, but I think he should play like maybe the main lion. Oh, main lion, that's fun. The the primary lion.
yeah. Yeah. I agree. Okay, cool. So she settles away and finds her way to the desert. They've obviously never seen a crab before.
Yeah.
So there's that last element of she has to kind of like make them all believe that she has like some line in her
Mm-hmm.
genetic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So essentially, you're saying they're bigoted towards her when she first shows up, and she has to prove herself.
Just
Okay. I mean,
do another like heavy metal song.
sure, sure.
Yeah.
I like that as well. I think, well, and then sorry, I feel like obviously then like the main again lion,
Mm.
he should be in a hair metal band, right? Like a big sort of like Axl Rose do,
Yeah.
and then she he gets so desperate because there's a concert going on and he has like an emergency, like his hair gets caught on fire or whatever. He has to put it out and he has to get fixed real quick. And she's the
Yeah.
only person around. And so she's like, I'll do it. And he goes, I don't know if I trust a crab, but I'm in between a rock and a hard place here. And then, obviously it cuts to a wide and there's literally a rock and then her little stand and it's like, ba-dum bum.
Yeah.
In the desert. Yeah.
That's
And then he goes off and he likes the haircut, and then that's the real like impetus for the second act where she has success, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like we need to bring in a new conflict. So then they all start going to her to get
Mhm.
the snarl out, because now we need the snarl. Like we need the other element that you're
Mhm.
describing. Are the crabs, are they just done through this film, like the other crabs, or are they going to come back? Do they harness the power of the sea? Like maybe the crabs run the sea somehow, and they're like, we lost our daughter, we need to go find her. She's with the lion.
I like that idea. I
Okay.
feel like
Okay.
the twist I would put on it would be that it's just her fiance that's trying to find her. So it's again
That would be really cute.
a little lower stakes, and he finally shows up, in act 3, and that's the muddle, that's the issue, the twist at the end where it's like, hey, don't you love me? And she's
What
like,
if like, yeah, so no one else cares about her? Is it that like maybe her character's like a little bit annoyed, and they're like, oh well,
yeah, I
her
kind of
fiance
feel
too
like,
old.
yeah, I
It's like
think
a
that,
really unlikable protagonist.
yeah, I think they all don't really like her much. And it's kind of
Yeah.
like, in Beauty and the Beast where like they're like, Belle is beautiful, but my God, was she annoying? So it's kind of fine that she's just gone for a few days.
Yeah, they're all like,
It's just
yeah,
that one guy that's really pushing to get Belle back, actually. It's just Gaston over here. We all were like, fine.
that's so true. Until it was Emma Watson, and then everyone was like, let's save Emma Watson. But
For sure.
yeah, that was, yeah. Oh my God, I went to see that movie, the
Mhm.
live action one. I was really depressed when I was in college, and I went to the movie theater alone, which is totally fine. I love going to movies alone. But it was right
Mhm.
after I put in those like big reclining chairs and had alcohol, and I had like 4 drinks. It was great. I cried a lot. Anyways, or sad. Okay, back to our movie.
I I thought you were gonna say I fell asleep. I was hoping that you were just like, and I had 4 drinks, and then I woke up, and the movie was over.
No, it was all the like start to finish a really tragic outing. I'm sure people were concerned.
I
Anyways,
Do you cry at
yeah.
the movies often? Do you cry?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
like
sadder when like you're alone and you've had a lot of beer.
fair. I haven't experienced that, but I imagine it would. But I feel like it's so easy to cry at the cinema, right? It's so easy to just be like, I'm invested.
Yeah, yeah,
It's like being on a plane. It's easier to
yeah.
cry.
Oh, that's not relatable, but I'll let you have
They say that something about the air
it.
pressure makes it easier, makes people more emotional. I don't know.
Okay. Do you say
Anyway,
that? Okay.
they scientists
Your mom
do.
says that in the
Yeah, my
fake
mom.
article.
Yeah.
For you online.
Yes, absolutely. Not
Yeah.
exactly a huge fan of you dragging my mom into this as much as you
Oh,
have been,
sorry.
but no, I'm kidding. It's fine.
Okay.
She's a sweet lady. She can take it. But so
Okay.
She's successful, her fiance shows up, then
Yeah.
what happens?
Okay, yeah, because like I just feel like you picked a crab going against like a pack of lions. I don't really even feel like they would snarl very
Mm, mm.
fast,
That's just
like
a
at the crab.
well, I mean it's just a jumping off point, but yeah, okay.
No, no,
So
no, I love it. That
oh,
is
okay.
good. Because I
Oh,
want all ideas for good things. I am so sorry. That was
no, no.
terrible brainstorm. I just meant like I think there needs to be another element of the threat, which we see on the crab.
So,
Like he's really smart and he like a home alone type situation.
so there needs to be like an actual physical threat, you're saying?
Oh,
Or do you mean, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time understanding what you mean, not necessarily verbally per se, but because you cut out during the call, and so I was trying to put together what you were saying.
oh, okay. Is it okay now? Is it
Yes.
better?
Hmm.
I'm shocked because I spent upwards of $4 on these headphones. So yeah. Okay. Like I like the emotional depth that you're
Mm.
bringing to this because you're like, let's not make it big. Let's not make like the actual snarling because you're humanizing the line.
Hmm. Hmm.
And and we do need more of that. So maybe the crab, maybe that's the big thing is the because we have all these like class situations going. So the fiance crab, Craig, comes in and he's like, this is heteronormative. Anyway, Craig comes in and he's expecting the lion to be, he has his own prejudice,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
same thing with their prejudice against the crab. So he does come in with some physical threat, but then we haven't developed the lion's character enough.
I feel like, yeah, I mean, I feel like that's an element of it. I do like this idea that Craig the Crab, played by Craig Ferguson, I feel like, obviously,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously, um, he shows up and he's like ready to scrap. I like that idea. Part of me is like, what if he brought a gun? Just like he's like ready to, he's ready to commit murder. Um, but
yeah.
I do like the idea that he's coming in with his own baggage. I feel like that's I mean, I agree there's not enough lions in it. And I feel as though what if we had the hair metal band
Oh,
take her
okay,
on tour?
yeah. So she's not even there when he arrives.
Yeah, she's
She's a
gone.
poster.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh no."
Yeah, but at first he's like, because the whole time, ooh, yeah, because his emotional journey could be like really big because he's coming and they genuinely do love each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the thing, and he's just really confused. So he comes and he sees this poster and he feels like really jealous, but also like, oh my gosh, I've been holding it back from who she truly is.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been supporting music career
Mm-hmm.
enough because I want her to work in family and landscape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And not even like the fun part, like doing the books or whatever. I feel like he
Yeah,
doesn't recognize the talent that she has because he's
yeah,
so myopic in his worldview of like, well, lady crabs are good at banking and home stuff,
yeah,
famously balancing budgets, and boy crabs are famously good at hard work.
yeah, yeah. But he's not like a, I would almost just like, can I say dick on this podcast? He's not like a bad person. I guess
Mm-mm-hmm.
I think I already said that. But anyways, whatever. I'm gonna be unfiltered, but he's not a bad person. He's just coming. He just his worldview is
Mm-hmm.
narrow. There's really no bad guy in so far, except the classic.
Except for, did you say the classism?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The bad guy is the metaphor of the plight of the working class in America. Yeah. But yeah, I like that idea
Mm,
uh of him having to really sit with it. And I feel like the entire like he shows up in the beginning of like the second act when she's already gone, right, on the tour. And then he waits there for her to come back because
mm,
he doesn't know, like, he's not going to follow her around. And so when she finally does come back, like, she has her little shop, yeah, and
mm.
there's like a bunch of landscaping that he's done, and he's like done the sign up, and he's like made it look really nice.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. But maybe like also that because I want him to see her actually perform. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe like there's the last stop on the tour is
Mm-hmm.
the hometown. So like then he shows up at the last concert.
Mm-hmm.
And she's starting to get emotional because she's like, I love my new life, but I miss Craig.
Mm-hmm.
And then he appears and then shows her that he's redone.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
would definitely cry. It
Yeah,
really
I
seems
would.
too cute. Yeah.
I absolutely
um,
would as well. I've cried for less. No.
oh yeah.
I think that's good. And then I think I mean, then do they just live happily ever after in the town and then she tours with the band?
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have to go back, but remember, no one likes
Yeah, which I do like that we established
her.
that early on because like I mean because like she goes away and then we cut back to the crab village and everyone's like, Craig, why are you going after this woman? And he goes, I just love her, okay? I just need to go get her. And it's
Yeah.
like she's so annoying though, and she's like, you don't understand.
Yeah, I like that accent you brought in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because yeah, and maybe it's that thing where she's not like that weird, but she obviously doesn't belong to the ocean. We don't have to make her
Yeah.
like catty or annoying, but she
Mhm.
just like people just don't like her.
Yeah.
The
She
Belle
just
thing, like they're like, oh, she reads, yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah,
Ugh, literacy. Ugh, gross.
mm,
For sure. I
terrible.
think so as well. And then I feel like then, there's always like a sequence over the credits where you like see her touring at different spaces and him keeping up the shop, and then they meet up and he makes little signs in the audience. And I feel like that's how she knows it's him. He makes like a little topiary sign.
Yeah, there's some like inside joke, and because at the beginning there's like a montage, or at some point in the movie of like them being childhood sweethearts,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like some.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Absolutely.
wow.
There we
I'm
go.
like, oh,
Yeah.
good.
Who should voice our leading lady, do you think?
Meryl Streep.
You know what? I agree, only if it's her last movie. This is
Yes,
the
yes, the final.
So we sit on
um,
this script until she's ready to retire, and then she does this one, and then she's out.
do you think we could get her? I don't know what the budget for this film is like.
I th- I think we could. I think we could convince her to do it for scale if she really liked the story.
Sure. Yeah, you need to
Yeah.
work out. The,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
If we give her points on the back end, a percentage of the box office, I think she would be amenable to doing it. Mm-hmm.
Agreed. But as a backup, who would you choose?
Mm. Who's Meryl Streep like? Amy Adams.
Oh, that would be really cute.
And
And I can see. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you go.
no, she can sing too, which is nice.
Oh, she can sing, and I can see. She'd be the perfect like. You would understand why the people in the ocean think that she's annoying or different.
Sure. It's like you're
Yeah.
clearly very talented, but yeah,
Yeah.
sure, for sure.
I don't think about that in real life. I just think I don't know why I think all these people are going to be listening. But I don't think about that in real life. She has the voice that she could pull that off. Like,
Oh, for sure. Yeah. She's played someone who's like, I mean, Julia and Julia, Julie and
see
Julia.
it, but it's not that I don't think it sounds good.
It just sounds sad. You don't want to be crying from
Yeah,
the jump. You want to cry at Disney films. I understand. There's two types of
right.
people,
Yeah, yeah.
famously. So, what is your film based off of detail?
Oh, I also do the word detail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I understand. I thought that I got my own first,
Do you want
but
your own word?
no, no, that's okay. I can
You
work with
sure?
detail. Okay, so it's the sequel to Crab Lagoon. No, so detail. Okay, there is a woman, and it's set in like the late 1860s in England. I know nothing about that era, but anyway, she's a writer and she writes under a pen name,
Mm.
and she really loves cars and detail, but she knows that she wouldn't be with. Are there cars yet? Anyway, there's cars that exist
Yeah.
in the 60s. Okay, and or wagons, and so she writes like manuals that are also very poetic and publishes them under a pen name on Cardi.
Okay. I like it.
And it's very popular, but then like people want to be her. So there's like
Mm-hmm.
a Mulan element to it as
Mm-hmm.
well.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Mhm.
The next word is censorship. Oh boy. Censorship is about a mechanic on a star cruiser. It's a sci-fi film. It's a mechanic on a star cruiser, and the ship he's on, he has to repair the sensors while doing a routine. But then during that time, they get attacked by an enemy, and then he alone has to fight off this invading force because everyone else gets captured immediately because they get caught off surprise. But he fixes the sensors right as they're coming in, so he knows it before everybody else, so he can prepare a little bit. Does that make sense?
Wow. Yeah, that was compelling.
Thank you.
Okay. I mean, this is boring. I think mine is also set on a ship. I mean, not that the idea to put on a ship was boring for you, but you were the first one. But there's more of a play on sense or ship, either or going for a pun title that you get like way later in the film revealed. And I think it's a boy, and he's in love with a woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's age appropriate. He's in love with a girl, and he is to Titanic, and he knows that it's going to sink, and that he's gonna die on. So he has to decide if he goes, like if he has sense and he doesn't go on the ship, or he chooses to go on the ship and spend the next 3 days or like knowing he's gonna die.
So like kind of like Limitless meets Titanic situation.
Sure, and then he decides not to get on the ship.
Like, what is that movie with Nicolas Cage where he could see one moment ahead, like 30 seconds into the future, and then it turns out the whole time he's just been like watching what the scenario would it be like that situation? You see him get on the ship, the whole movie goes, and then at the end you realize he's back at the dock, like, no, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you get really attached to him, and then he really lives. But then, like, the girl actually dies.
Rip.
Rip. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is one's a bit tricky actually because it's the word doubt, which is already a film and a play, so we can't go with.
Oh, I don't know either the film or the play, so I feel like I'm.
The film is based off of the play. It's about a priest who's accused of.
Oh, go ahead.
It's okay. It's just a priest who's accused of sexual misconduct, and then people have to investigate it, and so there's doubt whether or not he is innocent. And that's I haven't seen it either, but that's the summary that you can look up on Wikipedia or IMDb. And so, but my doubt is about a young girl who wants to play in a rock band, and her parents don't approve of it, so she keeps sneaking out, and she's in this all girl punk rock band, and it turns out she's quite good at playing the drums, and it fucking rules. Her parents come and see her.
Like, and what she really wants to do is professional curling. And that's
Curling?
Yeah. And
That's
she's doubting.
that rules. That fucking slaps.
Thank you.
All right. And I feel like in the third one, because it's got to be a trilogy, right? Is like she meets the love of her life on this curling team, right? It's like again like an all ladies curling team, and then they get married at the beginning of the film, and then the marriage isn't as easy. So there's doubt 3, too doubt, too furious.
Yeah.
Well, I like ending on that. I think that's very good. Do you want people who listen to this episode, what do you want them to know about you? Like plug your stuff or anything in particular?
Oh, my stuff.
Stuff.
I'm trying to do the TikTok thing. So you follow me at Camille Roberts verified. And I'm not actually verified. I thought that was a funny thing. Put in my handle, but it's actually quite confusing, and I just have to explain to people that I'm not famous.
Give it time.
But Ryan Reynolds, if you're listening, I am famous. If you hear this. Okay, yeah, TikTok, and then that's all of my social media. So I post my shows and stuff on Instagram. Oh, and I'm a stand-up comedian.
Oh, sure. Sure, yeah.
I don't know if that was said yet.
I don't think so. I think I just inferred it. I really got to be better at doing that, of giving like some sort of context for the guest. But I want to say thank you very much for doing this. It was very fun talking to you about movies, and also for an hour before we began, as we waited for your phone to charge. It was very good.
Yeah, as I've been home all day with my phone on charge. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no worries.